Thank you for being here today. It's very much appreciated. This presentation is aimed at students, and that means anyone who does serious writing based on their research. The presentation will take roughly an hour, starting with a 15-minute introduction on the design philosophy, followed by a demo, and finally questions and answers. In the introduction, I will talk a little about the importance of rich interactions and what it takes to deliver that. This is both so that you can use these tools more effectively, and that's so that you have different ideas of what to expect and demand from your knowledge tools. The demo will be of a PDF viewer called Reader, utility called Liquid, and a word processor called Author, all for macOS. I will show you what I think are powerful views of your work to help you think and have powerful ways to connect it with the knowledge in your field. The idea is to give you more control. Just like an athlete who has fine control of their body, pilot who controls the aircraft, you deserve to have fine controls over the tools you use to think with. My theory is that the most fundamental part of existence is not atoms, nor electrons or quarks or any matter, nor information. The most fundamental part of existence is interaction, since it is through interaction that information is generated. That means that, to me, in order to extract maximum value from our information, we should provide maximum interaction. The system focuses on documents, since I think conversation systems are important, but they're being worked on by big corporations, and they have what I think is one major issue. There's no work product at the end. It's generally all just one long stream into the void. I'm interested in documents since documents are, conceptually at least, tangible work results which can be addressed. I want to stress this since papers are, of course, the medium of knowledge exchange in academia. Even though I am a digital person, I don't think documents are just a fancy legacy of the paper world. I think the framing documents gives us is valuable, and it can augment it with digital interactions. A note on addressability. By addressability, I mean some way someone or something can find what is being addressed and have the ability to tell others where it is, and not just a location where they're supposed to be. This is the difference between a web link and a citation. A web link is a direction to a location. Citation is a set of information for how you can locate the document. Take a real-world example. You could say that the book is on the third shelf in the section on anthropology, 8th from the left, as a direction on how to find the book. This is analogous to saying the book is in the directory called Interesting Books on the server books.com under the name coolbooks.pdf. Citation contains identifying information, including the title of the document, date of publication, the author's name, publishers, and so on, as well as handles such as DOIs or ISBNs, which act as link redirects. You can find these on your hard drive or on the internet. You need to do a search of the internet or on your hard drive to locate the document. This means that if the server that hosts the document goes down or goes away, you will still have a way to find the document should it be anywhere else. Imagine in the olden days if you're only given directions for how to find a book in the library, but no information about the book.
It's 6 a.m.
If the book was lost or already lent, you would have no way to find another copy. If you were given citation information, you have the recourse to look for the book in many ways. Addressability, then, is about how you can address something, how you refer to it, how you point to it. This can mean how you can point to something or how you can somehow indicate to someone else where to locate something. Without it, we have absolutely no communication. Why? Every word, every utterance refers to something else, even if it's not explicitly linked. Doug Engelbart called this implicit linking. For example, every word is implicitly linked to its entry in a reference work, such as a dictionary. The developer of the hugely popular large world multiplayer game Crysis said in an interview in Edge magazine many years ago that making AI bots was not hard if you work to make the environment aware of itself and what its characteristics are. He used the example of a virtual piece of wood. How much force is needed to break it? Can it be seen through? Can it be burned, and so on? This is an approach taken for decades in the computer games world, and it's time to take this approach for knowledge work. This is what I'm doing, what I call visual meta. The goal of visual meta is to let the documents know what they are. In other words, who created them, i.e. how to cite them, what they contain, how tables and other data is formatted, and how they're structured in terms of headings, and so on. Having this self-awareness gives bots, or AI, and humans the ability to interact with them as though they are virtual information landscapes and not just frozen pixels. For example, this allows the user to copy text and paste it into a word processor as a citation and more. I'll be showing you this today. The way it's implemented is not by creating a new document format. It is simply by adding an academic BibTeX citation piece to the back of a regular PDF document, and optionally some JSON, which can be created by the authoring software or manually. Here's an example. Let me tell you what the different components are. So at the top, this is how it was made and so on. This is the citation stuff. You can see the easily human readable author, year, institution, and so on. And finally, here's a bit of JSON that shows how it's formatted in terms of what the headings are. This is an example of visual meta in the Future of Text book. It can be very large, but it can be very, very small font. This is important. What I'm trying to foster and support is deeper literacy for richer engagement with our information and communication. Fighter pilot trains to fly and as a result gets a huge freedom of movement and great capabilities, whereas a passenger simply gets from A to B, where A and B are usually far from where she wants to go. But that's what the easy mode of flying gets her. This is of course a Doug Engelbart thing, but let me be clear. I'm not saying users should take massively involved training to be able to operate computers. I'm saying, though, that oversimplified point and click is patronizing and leaves the user at the mercy of those who do invest in the means to interact with text. We're living in an age of issues around fake news and issues around climate change, and right now a virus epidemic. Just a brief note or a call to arms on this. Social media companies spend huge amounts of resources to keep us addicted to their news feeds, which look like endless scrolling bits of entertainment, but which are highly manipulated based on our preferences and other factors. They even purposely include posts which aggravate us in order to keep us engaged. Excuse me. These interactions support and encourage quick sharing, not deep interrogation. Similarly, the massive amount of information we should study and deal with in our work lives, and for basically saving the planet and our species, are locked in paper simulations and wrapped in ancient customs. We are at war with ignorance, and we are not investing in augmenting our ability to cope or thrive. I say that in the age of information warfare, we must arm the citizen. Oh, did I not click through? So that is my call to arms. Sorry, the slides went out of sequence, but I'm doing it now just to get the timing. So that's my call to arms. I back this up with hosting the annual Future of Text Symposium and now editing the Future of Text book. However, talking about is one thing, building things to help us achieve some degree of deeper literacy is another. So thank you for your patience, and we'll now show you 3 tools. Excuse me here. Reader, Liquid, and Author. I mentioned Liquid above. Oh. Yeah, okay, so I can do this in 10 minutes.